Looking through Shakespeare's first folio, the pages start getting misnumbered at 50. It's printed as 58. A few pages later, 59 is misnumbered as 51. The folio has several errors like this, but it's the ones up until page 153, which is misnumbered as 151, that I'm going to focus on. There's a system encoded in the pages that reveal numbers pertaining to Edward de Vere, as well as an understanding of what the initials TT in the sonnets might mean. On page 50, misnumbered as 58, 1740 can be found 3 times. On the 40th line is the word fortune. I is interchangeable with the Roman numeral for 1, and counting the number of I's before fortune, there's 16. But the sentence at the top begins on the preceding page. In it, there's a single I, for a total of 17. So the 17th I appears on line 40. That's the first 1740. After the 17th I, there's 17 letters, then the word fortune, again 1740. The third is found by reading the last line of the page. Ford, a reference to Oxford, is saying, "Page up, gentlemen, you'll see sport anon." This was the clue that began to unlock everything for me. If Ford or Oxford is telling us to page up, gentlemen, what happens if we go back 17 pages? Though it's printed as 58, it's actually page 50, and 50 minus 17 is 33. So we end up on page 33 of the Two Gentlemen of Verona. Now there's a lot encoded on this page which I'm going to get to, but first I want to explain this numbering system. If we start with page 33, which I'm going to refer to as the alpha, or first page, and count 17 pages, we end up on 50, the first misnumbered page, printed as 58. 58, or 5 times 8, is equal to 40. So 3 times on this page is a reference to 1740. Again, there's 17 I's or 1's, the 17th on line 40, that's 1. From the 17th I, if we count 17 letters, there's the word fortune, that's the second. And beginning from page 33, we count 17 pages and end up on page 50, misnumbered as 58. 5 times 8 equals 40, so 3 times there's a reference to 1740 on this page. And then it dawned on me it makes sense that 33 would be counted as the first page because of its relationship to Jesus as the Alpha and Omega, or first and last. So if 33 is the Alpha, or first page, and 17 pages later had these 1740 de Vere references, what if we count 40 pages from 33? 33 plus 40 is 73. On page 73, there's several lowercase double V's, 15 to be exact, but if this is a de Vere reference, there should be 17. They're found with the number I'm calling the omega. The last number of the Hebrew alphabet is tau, the 22nd letter, and Latin the letter T. This is the omega. Hebrew is read from right to left, and if we're on 73 and subtract 22, we get 51. Flipping back through the pages from right to left, the first 51 we get to is the misnumbered page 59. There's de Vere information encoded on this page, which I covered in my video Gematria number, and I'm going to go over again later, but here's where we find the other 2 double V's. So we began on page 33, the alpha, add 17 pages, and there's 3 1740s. Again from page 33, we add 40 pages and end up on 73, where there's 15 double V's. From here, with tau as the omega, we go back or subtract 22, because tau is the 22nd letter. 73 minus 22 is 51. Reading as if it were Hebrew from right to left, when we get to 51, misnumbered, we find 2 double V's for a total of 17. So 1740 is contained within these pages of Alpha and Omega. Following 50, printed as 58, and 59, printed as 51, the next misnumbered page is 86, printed as 88. Using the Latin alphabet's repeated count, 88 is equal to 4 T's, another de Vere reference. With Latin Gematria, 4 T's is equal to 76, 19 times 4, but with the repeated count, 4 T's is equal to 88. In a previous video, I had the value of 88 represented by something else, which was off. 88 is 4 T's, taken from the repeated count. If we count 33 as the first page and add 53, we get 86, misnumbered as 88. 53 has Masonic significance, being one of the angles of the 3-4-5 triangle, but it's also in Isaiah 53 that Christians believe the prophecy of Jesus being the Messiah is foretold. This leads to the next misnumbered page, 153, printed as 151. Alexander Waugh explains the meaning of 153 in his video John Dee's Secret Patron. Here I want to add that I and 1 are interchangeable, so 153 is the same as I-53 or Isaiah 53, again this reference to Jesus. Also, if we add 120 to 33, we get 153. In another video, I point out the reason there's double V's printed in Sonnet 120 is because with Gematria, Shakespeare is equal to 103. If we add 17 for the 17th Earl of Oxford, we get 120. So just like with 88, there's numerical references to Jesus and Edward de Vere. As far as the misnumbered pages go, I'm going to end here on 153, which is the same number as Sonnets, since Sonnets 153 and 154 are essentially the same. Now I'm going to show what's encoded on the misprinted pages within the alpha and omega. On page 33, or alpha, starting at the end of the text, there's the word pro. Pro in Latin can be translated as for, F-O-R. Reading the first letters of each sentence acrostically along this column, we get the letters T-I-S. F-O-R-T-I-S spells FORTIS, which I covered in my first video, and as Alexander Waugh explains, is the name for Edward de Vere. The next letters are F and B, initials for Francis Bacon. Next are the letters E and A, initials for et al., Latin abbreviation for and others. And then, in this triangular shape in yellow, the words, for I am that I am. In Exodus, when Moses asks for God's name, God replies, I am that I am. As far as I know, there's only two people who had the audacity, we'll say, to put those words on paper in the Elizabethan age, Edward de Vere and William Shakespeare. De Vere wrote it in a letter to his father-in-law, Lord Burleigh, and Shakespeare wrote it in Sonnet 121. It might be that the word for, F-O-R, is included because for, F-O-U-R in German is wir, so it could be saying, wir, I am that I am. Continuing up, there's the letters R and T for Rosy Cross, and then there's four T's. So this whole section begins with FORTIS, F-O-R-T-I-S, Francis Bacon, and others, for I am that I am, Rosy Cross, and ends with four-letter T's or FORTIS. Also, counting the number of lines beginning with pro, there's 17 lines, then the four T's, or 1740. Now the omega page. Remember from page 33 we went 40 pages to 73, where there's 15 lowercase double V's. In the Hebrew alphabet there's 22 letters. The last, or omega, is tau, and if we read like it's Hebrew from right to left, 73 minus 22 is 51. Flipping back, when we first see 51, it's actually page 59 misnumbered, but it's on this page that we get two more double V's for a total of 17. With Gematria, double V is equal to 40, so we have 1740. I suggested before that both Edward de Vere and Francis Bacon might be encoded on this page. The first double V is on line 33. 33 is the Jesus number, but it's also used to refer to Francis Bacon because with Gematria, B-A-C-O-N is equal to 33. On page 56 of the first folio, in the first part of King Henry IV, the name Francis appears exactly 33 times. Interestingly, with Gematria, de Vere equals 56. Back to the omega page in Merry Wives of Windsor, the 17th I appears 17 lines after the first double V. The line reads, Ford, I and an ox too, both the proofs are extant. The words Ford and ox together make Oxford, but the whole line, I and an ox too, both the proofs are extant, could be Francis Bacon saying that he and Oxford were behind the works of Shakespeare, and that the documents or manuscripts are still in existence. Anyone interested in that possibility should check out Peter Amundsen's theory on Oak Island. The second double V is 12 lines later, 12 being the numbers of letters in Edward de Vere and Earl of Oxford. The whole section is 29 lines, or 17 plus 12, and with Gematria, the letters EDV for Edward de Vere equals 29. So acrostically along the last lines of page 33 are four T's and de Vere and Bacon references. Counting 33 as the alpha or first page, if we add 17, we get the first misnumbered page. 50 is 58. 5 times 8 is 40, so 1740. And 1740 is found 3 times on this page. Again from 33, if we add 40, we get 73, and on this page are 15 double V's. The other two are found by subtracting 22, taken from the tau or omega of the Hebrew alphabet. 73 minus 22 is 51. If we turn the pages right to left like in Hebrew, page 59 is misnumbered as 51. Here we find the other two double V's for 17 total, as well as more Oxford and possibly Bacon references. So starting from 33 as the first page or alpha, we added 17 and 40 and found other pages with de Vere references. In Hebrew, the last character is tau or omega, the 22nd letter. We subtracted 22, then turned the pages from right to left like in Hebrew, and got another misnumbered page with more de Vere and Bacon references, similar to page 33. 53 has Masonic significance, and it's in Isaiah 53 that the Messiah is prophesied. Add this number to 33, the first page, and get 86, misnumbered as 88, and 88 equals 4 T's using the repeated count. With Gematria, Shakespeare equals 103. Add 17 for the 17th Earl of Oxford and get 120. Add this number to 33, the first page, and we get 153, misnumbered as 151. 153 is the same as I-53, another Isaiah 53 reference. And these are all the misnumbered pages up to this point, all starting with 33 and including 1740 and de Vere references. That's enough with the first folio for now, but this idea of 33 as alpha and 22 omega is even found on the Sonnet's dedication grid. In the first three columns there's a triple tau, an inverted triangle of 3 T's. This O above the T can stand for rose cross, and O being in the shape of a rose. So beginning from the first or alpha column we have these 3 T's in 3 columns, or 3, 3. The last or omega column is 19. It's even spelled out in these letters. It begins with another OT for rose cross, and then the letters AMGWS. As Peter Amundsen demonstrated, to get omega, the last 2 letters are read as Greek characters. In Greek, a lowercase omega is written like a small w, and S or sigma looks like a capital letter E. So there's AMGOE. Unscrambled, it reads omega. In the 23-character Latin alphabet, T or tau is the 19th letter, but in the 22-character Hebrew alphabet, tau is the last letter, or omega. We can also find it this way. If we start from 19 and begin counting down, 19, 20, and 21, the letters for omega begin at 22. The grid begins with a T and ends with a T, and once I had my mind thinking in terms of 33 and 22 being alpha and omega, I started wondering if this could explain what those initials in the sonnets mean. One idea is the double tau stands for the twins, the Gemini spear shakers. If we add the Gematria values of T plus T or 19 plus 19, we get 38. Looking at Sonnet 36, the 6 is drawn to look like, among other things, an 8, so this could be 38. The speaker is saying that, though their loves are one, to avoid shame they must live as two, or in twain. I started wondering if there was anything to the stories about Elizabeth having secretly born children. Throughout the years, several names have been brought up, among them Edward de Vere and Francis Bacon. Could they have been half-brothers producing works under the name Shakespeare, referring to themselves as the twins, the spear shakers? Though I believe de Vere was Shakespeare and that Bacon was somehow involved, the idea that they were both sons of Elizabeth is entertaining, but I doubt it. Other researchers have pointed out that both 33 and 22 begin with the letters TT. The first folio begins with The Tempest and ends with The Tragedy of Cymbeline. The last thing printed is the date, 1623. 1 plus 6 plus 2 plus 3 is 12, which again references Oxford, and there's 17 characters in the last line. But also the last 2 numbers, 2 and 3, are interesting because they're the first 2 numbers that begin with the letter T. I also want to point out that the letter T is composed of 3 points and 2 lines. Again, the first 2 numbers beginning with T, suggesting a deeper connection between these numbers and the letter. From 2 T's or a double tau, this character can be made, seen on the Shakespeare Memorial in Stratford. 1 T is turned on its side, making the letters for TH. TH are the initials for Templum Hierosolima, or Temple of Jerusalem, and are used to make the symbol of Royal Arch Freemasonry. It's composed of 3 T's, but as Alexander was shown, there's a hidden upside-down 4th T indicating Edward de Vere. But it all starts with the 2 T's, which I think is this group's alpha and omega. Another way of looking at it is Jesus and the cross are beginning and end, alpha and omega. Jesus' number is 33, and he can be represented by a cross or a T. Tau is the last letter in the 22-character Hebrew alphabet. In Latin, tau is a T or a cross, and these 2-letter T's can be designed to create the symbol of the triple tau. If we look at the cover of the Sonnets, there's a line by G. Eld for TT and R. Alexander Waugh deciphered this and discovered it reads, by God and Oxford 17 Earl. I want to suggest something else hidden within the letters and words beginning with the capital letters G. Eld TT. The word eld means old, and with the letter G in front of it, it spells gold. With the 2 T's, it spells gold double tau. That's the symbol for Royal Arch Freemasonry. The 2 T's can make a TH, which can then make a triple tau. I think, by design, the initials TT can stand for many different things. Ultimately, though, I think they represent alpha and omega, Jesus and the cross, and if we have to give them words, triplex tau or simply the tau, meaning the cross. And maybe that's the other message on the cover of the Sonnets. By GLTT means by the gold cross. I want to close with something I found in a 1612 facsimile of Ben Jonson's The Alchemist. The play is a scathing satire about the subject, and he even trashes John Dee in it, but he knew about Edward de Vere as being 1740 and encoded it within the text. On the second page of Act 4, Scene 5, the top of the page splits into 16 lines. This isn't done anywhere else. If we count 16 lines and then start counting back up, on the 17th there's a double V, so that's 1740 once. And then there's 16 characters, and we don't include the abbreviation for subtles character because of its definition, meaning very faint, which I thought was really clever. So there's 16 characters, and in the 17th place, double V again, and then counting from the end of this line, again 16 characters, and in the 17th place, double V. So 3 times in this section, or actually in this one line, there's references to 1740 or Edward de Vere. Directly above and below the name V. Vere is the abbreviated name for the character called Face, telling us that de Vere in some way had 2 faces. When I first read the line, I wasn't sure what Johnson was trying to say. After the name Vere are the words but feces, ashes. If the 2 faces above and below the name mean he was two-faced, this suggests Johnson didn't have a high opinion of the man at the time. What if the line means that, compared to de Vere, we are but feces, ashes, and the 2 faces means that he had another identity, Shakespeare?